Zach Calmus after this fight will never be the same fighter ever again. And then 2, he will never want to fight in BKFC ever again. He's gonna want to go to Ice Wars.
Knuckles to knives, what?
Knuckles to knives, baby.
Yeah, you what's that, your media?
That's my media.
Lovely. When did you set that up?
The first time you said it in a
There you go. So I raise up, so I say, we're the alien of combat sport, and may our combatants turn their knuckles to knives. Hey, you know, when you're good, and I'm all right. Awesome. Mr. Knuckles to Knives, how are you doing?
The most hated man in combat sports, returning to the squared circle in the biggest event of the year for the promotion, KnuckleMania 6, February 7th, taking on Zach Calmus. How's training camp going, brother?
It's going really good, man. Like, I don't know, you probably can't see it in me, but lost a lot of weight, dude, and I actually feel very, very strong for like how light I feel right now. So I used to fight at 185 when I first went pro 10 years ago, and I always felt like really weak. And I never felt like I had a lot of energy in me. But this one, dude, I feel like, I mean, it's at 205 too, but like, you know, I started dieting at like 245. So like, you know, but I don't feel like I lost any of that strength like that I was at 245. Like I feel like I was at 218 yesterday or the day before or something like that. I don't know. I haven't checked my weight since, but I feel very strong like for how light I am right now. And I mean, even if I was 218, that's like 13 pounds that I got to cut. So like, it's not like I'm going to lose like massive strength, like in 13 pounds. You know what I mean? So I feel very, very, very strong and very fast as well.
Amazing. That's good to hear. No, I can see it on you. And I did watch an interview the other day. I don't know the kid's name, but it was like a little kid basically interviewing
Brian, the interviewer.
one of your, pardon?
Brian, the interviewer. He works for Dirty Box. He does his. Sorry to cut you off. Just a quick story about him.
Yeah.
His coach, my first ever MMA fight. He's not his coach. His dad. My first ever MMA fight. His dad was the coach opposite of me, and we kept in. I got beat up bad, dude. I got dropped 6 times in one round. It was bad, dude. But he ended up keeping in contact with me over the years, and now they both work for Dirty Box. His dad is like a coach like in between rounds. Like he gives like his expert analyst for Dirty Box, and then his son does like not like the post fight interview, but like I guess like when they get in the back, like he'll be in the back. His son will be in the back, and he'll do a little interview with him. So they asked to come do an interview with me, and of course I'm gonna say yes. Like it's a little kid.
Yeah.
And me and his dad have a lot of good history, and it was a fun little thing to do. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, shout outs to the kid. I didn't know his name. Brian, the interviewer, right? You said?
Brian, the interviewer, yeah.
Yeah, so, and he was doing that interview with you, and man, I could just see you standing beside the kid, and you looked jacked, man. You definitely look like you lost a lot of weight. You look in shape. So this is your first fight at cruiserweight in the BKFC. Both of your fights have been at heavyweight. This is your debut at cruiserweight. How has the transition been for you?
It's been pretty. My baby got into the cake a little bit. Sorry about that.
No, it's okay.
I'm gonna say bye to my wife real quick. We're transitioning in the interview. We're going from house to car to the gym. So bear with me.
Okay, no problem.
Whatchamacallit? So you asked, what was your question again? I'm sorry.
Just how the transition has been for you as far as going from heavyweight to cruiserweight.
I mean, a year ago, I fought at 205 pounds in my last amateur fight. That was pretty rough cut because I had to drive 8.5 hours to West Virginia, so I was cutting while I was driving.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, so like I'm in the car. I left the house at 206. And I was like, I'm done, dude. I can't. I don't want to lose any more weight. I was like, there's no way I don't lose a pound or whatever it is. I forgot my keys in the house. There's no way that I don't lose a pound or whatever it is driving 8.5 hours. So that was a bad weight cut. But this one, I only got to drive 40. Like I don't know where the weigh-ins are at, but 40 minutes max. So it's gonna be an easy transition. I mean, this camp, dude, it's all about dieting down, and I dieted down to the 220, 225, and I'm probably going to cut from 215. Taylor, can I have the keys? No. And my wallet? All right. Sorry about that, brother.
No problem.
But yeah, so I dieted down to like 225, um, and now I'm gonna diet. I'm on the transition trying to get to 215. I'm not cutting weight yet, but I'm gonna cut from 215 to 205. So I'm only gonna cut 10 pounds.
Okay. And you're saving that 10 pounds for the week of, you'd say?
Yeah. So this from now until 2 weeks out, my goal is to try to get to 215 and to stay at 215, and then I'm going to get in a car. All the snow around. Getting in the car is like a mission on its own, dude. So yeah,
Wow.
basically, so I want to get to 215 by this Friday because this Friday will be 2 weeks out, and then I want to get to from there I'll cut to 205. So I want to be 215 for 1 week straight, and then for that whole rest of that week I just want to cut 10 pounds, which should be really easy.
Okay. Okay, so you mentioned you're about 40 minutes away from the arena there, the venue, right? So you're going
Yeah.
to be driving there the day of
For the weigh-ins or for the fight?
for the fight.
Well, I usually meet Chris and Kyle Dawkins. I meet them at the Forge, which is like 15 minutes from my house, and then they drive me to the. Because my wife goes, so it doesn't make sense for me to bring two cars. You know what I mean? So they usually drive Chris and Kyle Dawkins. They usually drive me there, and then me and my wife, we leave together, and we usually like the fight. The fight's because it's so crazy, dude. Like this fight, dude, I sold 300 and I think I'm at 356, 356 tickets for this one. So like
Wow.
I'm on my phone all day long, dude. Like right now I'm not because I sold them all and I'm all done. But it's just like all day long, dude. Like people hitting you up for tickets, and you got to reach out to this guy. This guy, gave you a little bit of money and he still owes you a little bit of money, and you got to get back to him and get the money. It's just like, and there's nothing wrong with that. And want to know something? Like as much as I complain to my wife about it, like dealing with everybody, when February 8th hits, so the day after the fight, I'm like, I can't wait to do it again. Like that, I get that like fixed. Like all of it, like dealing with sponsorships, dealing with everybody for the tickets. Like I hate it. It's like a love-hate thing. Like you hate it so much, but then you're like, man, like I miss it. Because like with what I hate about the tickets is basically asking your friends to give you money to support you, right? Like that's what I hate
Yeah.
about it. But what I love about it, it gives me a reason to like, because the time we live in now, dude, like it's really easy to forget. Like not that we forget about people, but it's just like, man, I haven't talked to that guy in a while. You know what I mean? Like I wonder what
Yeah.
he's up to. So it gives me a reason to reach out to these people and to see how their lives are and to see how they're doing in life. I'm a big people person, bro. I like talking to people a lot, and I have a lot of friends, and I have a lot. A lot of my family died, so like, I don't have as much family anymore, but I have a lot of friends, dude, and I really appreciate all their support. The 350, what I'm at, I think I'm at 350 right now. That's a lot, dude, and that's the most I ever sold. So the most I ever sold before that was like 104, but like we really upped it this time. But it also, it's on the venue too. It's the Xfinity Mobile Arena. It's a big deal. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what I was saying to you yesterday. I know you said you got 3 interviews today. You're really becoming the most popular man in combat sports, I'd say, instead of the most hated man in combat sports. I don't know how much you like that, but
What'd you say? You broke up a little bit.
no, I just said, we talked about that yesterday. You said you had 3 interviews today, so I feel like you're really already becoming a household name for the BKFC, from the most hated man in combat sports to the most popular man in combat sports. And I'm not sure how much you like that, but as much as you think people don't like you, I feel like people really do love you, man.
Well, that's the whole gimmick. So like the whole
Yeah.
gimmick is the whole gimmick is right. Like a buddy of mine, I grew up as a pro wrestling fan, so I always wanted to be the heel, right? So this is gonna tie into a lot of stuff. When I was 7 years old, right? I don't know what you did when you were 7 years old sitting at your desk. But when I was 7 years old sitting at my desk, dude, I would daydream about being in arenas like the Xfinity Mobile Arena and walking out 20,000 people just booing me. I
Wow.
that was my dream, dude. And like, am I gonna walk out to 20,000 people booing me? Probably not. But like for this fight, but I think what I did is that I generated a big following. And bro, like here's the thing too, like a lot of these fighters, right? I have a lot of fighters reach out to me. I'm not joking either. I'm dead serious. A lot of fighters reach out to me. BKFC, regional fighters. I haven't had a UFC fighter reach out to me yet, but I'm waiting for them to do this. They don't understand that, yeah, it's a fight and it's the fight business, right? But it's only really the fight business in regional fighting, right? Once you get signed by a big company, like BKFC is clearly the number 2 promotion. Dave keeps saying that, oh, we'll be the number 2 probably this year. Nah, brother, they're the number 2 right now. Like no
Like,
offense to no offense to PFL right now. They're just, you never hear about their cards. You don't get excited about their cards. You know what I mean? You only really get excited about the UFC's cards. And the UFC, they fell off for a little bit, right? But now they got this Paramount deal. A lot of people are excited about the free fights. But maybe they'll make a turnaround. But BKFC is clearly the number 2 promotion right now, right? But it's not just a fight business. It's not just a fight business,
yeah,
brother. It's the entertainment business. That's because they're signed to networks and they're signed to TV deals. It's the entertainment business. You need to know how to entertain. You need to know how to promote. You need to know how to build yourself. Like, yeah, Dave Feldman, he's the promoter, but you're a promoter too. Like, as a fighter, like, you need to get these promotions talking about you. You need to get people talking about you, because at the end of the day, the only way you get paid is if you're putting asses in the seats. And if you're going out there and you're having boring fights and you don't know how to talk and you don't know how to present yourself, you're not going to put those asses in the seats. And I really feel like that ever since I was 7 years old, I've dreamed of doing this, and I wouldn't say mastered it, but like most people want to be a mechanic. They can tell you how they can take a transmission apart and whatnot. I can't do that. I'm not a mechanic. I didn't want to be a mechanic when I was a little kid. But I can tell you how to cut a promo. I can tell you how to promote yourself. I can tell you how to get people to watch it. I know how to gain those views, man. I don't know.
yeah.
Just something I
No,
was born to do, I think.
I totally agree with you, man, and I always like to say the same thing. You know, the fight is exciting as it is for sure, but sometimes the press conferences and the interviews can be just as exciting as the fight, and it'll gain a lot of hype for the fight. So, you know, some fighters do it and some fighters don't. Some fighters just like to stick to fighting, you know, but I think you really stand out by talking a little bit of shit, you know, getting on the mic, you know, letting the people see your character, and then you get in the ring and you put on the show, and you're good at both, to be honest. You're an amazing fighter and you're good on the mic. So, I mean, that's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean, and I'll be honest, that's why I'm on, like, that's why I don't know why I'm on KnuckleMania, but that's my
Yeah.
opinion of why I'm on the biggest card of the year, you know? And I was really advocating for it because I know for a fact, dude, that, like, after I beat this homeless bum up, you know what I mean? I'm gonna elevate that up and up and up. Like, dude, like me and Mike Perry, like, I write to Mike Perry the last time when KnuckleMania got announced. He talked crap to me after I won my fight against Lewis Rumsey. He talked crap to me in my in the BKFC Instagram post, because I cried after I won. I've been through a lot of things, like a lot of up and downs, and so, like, to beat somebody like Lewis, yeah, Lewis, he isn't the best fighter in the world, but Lewis has been around the block, dude. Lewis has had 40 to 50 pro fights. To say that I didn't know how that, in my mind, I didn't know how that fight was going to go. Chris and Kyle kept telling me it's going to be an easy fight, but I, I'm a very humble guy, as much as it doesn't seem like I am. So I was like, I don't know, man. It might not be that great. You know what I mean? Like, I might not do that good. And then I went out and I beat him the way I did. I didn't think I was going to, like, I mean, I said I was going to beat him like that, but, in my mind, I didn't know. I thought it was going to be more back and forth. And then I cried. And then Mike Perry writes, like, dude talks crap and cries or something like that. And I wrote to him, I was like, big fan. That's the thing, right? Whenever these guys talk crap to me, I've had a bunch of them do it now. And I always want, especially if I grew up watching them fight, I want to turn them into fans. So rather than double down and be like, fuck you, Mike Perry, or you're a bitch, Mike Perry, or what, like, I'll fuck you up, Mike Perry, like anything like that, I go, hey, man, big fan, grew up watching you fight. You would like me if you really got to know me. And then he responds, hey, great fight, man. I love the post fight promo. Looking forward to the next one. Right. So then they announced the KnuckleMania card, and he wrote, like, fire emojis. And I wrote to him, I said, you will follow me. You're going to follow me after this one. I guarantee it. And he liked it. So I don't remember what your thing was, but your question was, I always get carried away, dude. I got ADD.
It's okay.
But Mike Perry, like, like to acknowledge me, that's pretty awesome, dude. Like to know who I am and stuff like that. And Jorge Masvidal liked my press conference post, my press conference thing. There was a bunch of UFC fighters that liked it.
Yeah,
If I'm getting their attention, dude, I'm doing something right. You know what I mean?
for sure.
I don't believe in the whole pushing and shoving thing at the press conference. I mean, that to each their own. I mean, like you know, it got a lot of views for the KnuckleMania thing, but that's something you'll never see me do because I believe in talking trash, and I've never even been in a street fight, so I'm never gonna get up and throw a punch at somebody at the press. I'm gonna try to get them to do that to me, but by talking crap. But I really hope Calmus is there, man, at the press conference, because I'm definitely gonna take a lot of digs at him, dude. And I wanted to take some digs at Yoel Romero when I was at the press conference, because obviously I called him out as well. But then like I walked up to him and I shook his hand like before the press conference, and he didn't know. He probably didn't even know that I called him out. But I walked up to him and I shook his hand and I was like, "Oh my God, like you are like ginormous. Like you are like 3 times I don't know. Everybody, like when I look at everybody else, like they look way bigger than me. Than I probably am bigger. I'm probably a big guy, but like I don't look at myself as a big guy. Like I think I'm like 5 foot, like 125 pounds. I don't look at
Yeah.
myself as a 6 foot, 220 pound guy, right? Like so when I see Yoel Romero, I'm like, Jesus Christ, like I call this dude out. Like this guy's a machine right now. This guy looks like a. And when I touched him, dude, he felt like a machine. I was like, oh boy. But I just don't really know how he's gonna be. Like if I talk crap to him, am I gonna get like a right hand to the back of my head? Like while I'm not like expecting it. You know what I mean? So I was just like, yeah, let's leave him alone for this event. Andre Arlovsky looked like he hated everybody in the room. So I was like, yeah, like was planning on gonna talk shit to him. Was planning on gonna call him out, but he looked like he like hated everybody there, and then like a week later he beat up like 6 like teenagers in a airport.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, maybe we shouldn't mess with him either. Sorry about that. Like I said, I get carried away, bro.
No, you're good, brother. I appreciate it. So let me ask you then, so when you first signed with the BKFC, did you envision yourself on a KnuckleMania card so quickly?
Well, I mean, when me and Nate Nate's the one that signed me. So when me and Nate were
Yeah.
in talks, he said he saw one of my post fight interviews, I guess, because he had a bunch of people at the first one in Philly, the one last year. He said he had a bunch of people come up and he was like, you gotta, I don't know who any of them are, but like he said that a bunch of people came up to him and they were like, you gotta sign this guy, you gotta have him on your card, like he's the nut job. And I guess he saw one of my post fight interviews and he told me, he was like, man, if I would have known, like I would have like tried to put you on this one, you know. But here we are, like we're gonna put you on the 2300. But when we were in those talks, that was one of the things I said to him that I really wanted. I was like, I really want to be on one of those Wells Fargo cards. And he pretty much was like, you know, get your wins in and you know, and when it comes time to it, we'll get you on that card. And I said, all right, dude, I'm in. So
That's crazy.
I think
That's a
I think Nate and I don't really know Dave too. I mean, I've fought for Dave before back in the day, but I don't really know Dave. Like I never really like had a sit down like conversation with him ever. You know what I mean? It's always like, hey, how are you? Like good, goodbye, kind of like, you know, like just small talk kind of stuff. And but I know that Nate has a he really likes me a lot. Like as a fighter and, you know, as an entertainer as well. So I think they have big plans for me, brother.
Let's go. For sure, as they should. Is there any fighters that inspired your style growing up?
Chael Sonnen.
Say again?
Chael Sonnen.
Chael Sonnen. Yeah, I see that.
So
I see that.
when I I first started watching UFC in 2008 because of Brock Lesnar. Never had aspirations to fight. And then Chael Sonnen came across my screen. I always wanted, like I said, dude, I always wanted to be in the WWE. So I had it all mapped out when I was a kid. I was going to graduate high school. I was going to go to Ring of Honor training school, which was I live in Levittown, PA. They were, well, in the time I lived in Horsham, they had a school in Bristol, PA. I was going to enroll in Ring of Honor wrestling school when I was 18 years old. And I knew that if I went that route, like there would be, in no time, I would be in the WWE or a big promotion. Dude, I used to stand in front of my mirror and practice promos from the time I was like 8 years old until the time I graduated high school. And I envisioned myself in front of 20,000 people. That's why it's not hard for me to do that. I used to do these promos and practice and yeah, I stutter and stuff, but I just got out of a fist fight. You know what I mean? So I'm not as clear as like these other guys, like when they do the promos in WWE. But then I saw Chael Sonnen, dude. And I was like, whoa. I was like, hold on a second. UFC 109, UFC 109, when he fought Nate Marquardt, and just the way that he was talking about Nate Marquardt and the way that he was talking about Anderson Silva, it was real. And a lot of people don't know this, but a lot of his promos, as I got older, I found out they were actually stolen by pro wrestlers. A lot of like,
Really?
yeah, like the make me a steak in medium rare just the way I like it and slap her on the ass. That was, I forget who it was off the top of my head, but it might have been Rick Rude, dude. I would have to ask my dad. My dad's like a pro wrestling like encyclopedia like back in those times, and my dad's the one that told me about it. But yeah, a lot of Chael's stuff was stolen from wrestlers, and but the way he would deliver it, the way he would say it, the way he would do the way he did the Ariel Helwani interview. Oh, Nogueira's feeding the bus
Yeah.
a carrot. Like I'm like, oh my god, this is hilarious. Like
That
I
was the
said, so
funniest.
he can be a pro wrestler, right? And not a lot of people were in on it at that time, right? It took a lot of people a while to get him to realize, like, oh, this is like he's just playing a character. Like a lot of people thought it was real at first, right? So I knew the whole time this is not really this guy. I'm 15 years old. I know this is not really this guy. I know he's just playing a character. I'm like, so this guy can be a pro wrestler. He goes out there, fights, and people hate him. And I get off on the hate. I really do. Like, I don't know why, but I love the whole heel. I love, like, there's just something about it, dude. Like, you walk in a room and just people booing you and whatnot. It gets you all excited, right? So when I saw that, I was like, I have to at least have one fight. So if you look me up on YouTube, bro, I was a 2-2 amateur, and I fought this dude around here. Dude still hates me for this, dude. Claims he's a fan of mine. Claims he's a fan now, and we're cool now. But for years, dude, this dude hated me. If you go back, you look up Lex Ludlow. I'm not gonna say his name because I don't want to give him the satisfaction of name dropping him. But if you look me up, there's a promo video. I'll send it to you personally so you can watch it.
Okay.
This is 2015. It's like 8 minutes of me just belittling this guy, like Chael Sonnen style, dude, like in my own way. And so if you can go back and you can see me as an amateur, as a 2-2 amateur, talking trash. Like I always wanted to go that route, dude. I always wanted to talk trash. I always knew, dude, if I got in the UFC and I could be the way that I am with BKFC, I would be a millionaire. I'd be like, oh my god, they would be paying me. They'd be delivering bags of money to my house just all the time. Like it would just be like relentless. Like, oh, here's another $1 million, Mr. Ludlow. Oh, here's another $1 million, Mr. Ludlow. And but like I'm not with the UFC. I'm with BKFC, and that's like my plan with them. You know what I mean? It's to get, and you know what? They're a growing company too. I'm trying to get as many eyes on them as I can, and I'm trying to promote myself and promote them at the same time. And be honest with you, brother, they really treat the fighters really good, dude. And I'm sure you hear that all the time. They all are professional to me. They all like me. I like them. I'm nice to them all, and they're all nice to me. And whenever I want to fight, I fight. Besides that one against Corey, no one talks about Willis. When I was trying to fight him in the Prudential Center, no one talks about Corey Willis. Let's be honest. Corey, what's his nickname? What you talking about? I call him no one talks about. He's probably a nice guy, a little bit of a weirdo. His wife was like tagging me and stuff, and I DM'd him and I was like, yeah, tell your wife to chill out. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why is she tagging me and all this stuff? And he was like, oh, she just gets into it or something like that. And I was like, all right, kind of weird, dude. My wife doesn't do that. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, I mean, probably a nice guy, runs into punches, runs straight when easy fight for me back then as a heavyweight, runs with his chin all the way up in the air. Just doesn't make sense to me. But he made Zach Calmus look like the homeless bum that he is. So I can only imagine what I'm gonna do to Zach Calmus February 7th. You know what I mean?
He did also just take Leonardo Perdomo to the 3rd round. What did you think about that?
Yeah, but toughness only gets you so far. He didn't look good in the fight. Like Perdomo isn't a wrestler, so Corey's wrestling him. Corey's getting him tired. He exposed Perdomo a lot. I'll say that. But like that's the thing that I hear every one of these fights. Like when I'm fighting Lewis Rumsey, he's tough. He's tough. Yeah. Okay. Cool. He's tough. Look what I did to him. Zach Calmus. He's tough. He's tough. He's tough. But he's not a good technical fighter. That doesn't just because you're tough doesn't mean you're a good fighter. That just means you belong at the ShopRite parking lot. That just means you belong in the ShopRite parking lot, getting into street fights. You know what I mean? Toughness only gets you so far, and I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm in the tough guy business. I don't. I think I'm somewhat tough. You know, I'm not one to quit. You punch me in the face, I'm only going down unless it really like you gotta kill me, dude. You gotta like that. That's how I gotta look. This is my life on the line. I fight for my kids. I fight for my family. The only way you're gonna kill me, the only way you're gonna beat me is if you kill me, and that's how I look at it. But Corey, no one talks about Lewis. Probably a good MMA fighter, not a good BKFC fighter. No, he's got to work on his boxing. No offense to him, and I mean that sincerely.
I got you. I got you. So do you have any big call outs planned for after this fight that you haven't used already?
Well,
I mean, I don't want you to give away any names yet, but there's
let's
three
just
names that you've called out. Yeah, there's three names that you've called out previously: Yoel Romero, Chris Camozzi, and Fedor Emelianenko, right? So, is there any new names planned?
I don't know. I mean, that's like a wait and see kind of thing. But like, I mean, Kamozi's gonna get called out again. Sakara will probably get called out. That's the thing, right? Like Kamozi, right? Kamozi constantly liking when I write in his comments. He likes them. Comments sometimes back to me, right? One of his good friends and cornerman, I forget his name off the top of my head, but he's actually a really good dude. We were chatting it up a little bit in the DMs about me trying to fight Chris Camozzi, his cornerman. I really want that Chris Camozzi fight, and I'll tell you why. Because the way Camozzi fights to me, it doesn't seem like he's about it. He doesn't seem like he likes to hide behind the jab. He likes to run away. He's a very boring fighter. Yeah, he gets the knockouts. Yeah, he gets the TKOs. But the way he goes about it is just very boring to me. You know what I mean? And I think he can't do that to me. I think I'm going to bring out the best in Chris Camozzi. And I think that not only do I beat Chris Camozzi, but I think I will be the first one to ever drop him and finish him inside the BKFC ring. I really do. Listen, I really want to fight that bum, Chris Camozzi. All right. He's very boring. I call him the bitch Chris Camozzi for a reason because he won't fight me. I think he's ducking and hiding. And then I think after I beat Mr. Camozzi, I think Mr. Sakara, everybody's favorite uncle from Florida. And the reason I call him everybody's favorite uncle from Florida is because he looks like that uncle that like flies up once a year that you don't ever see, and he's just all Italian, and he just looks like your uncle you see once a year, and you're not really even sure if he's your uncle or not. You know what I mean? You don't really talk. He's very quiet. Like I tried to talk to him at the last fight because we were on the same card. Barely speaks English, but like he just came off as rude. Just came off as rude. He's like a rude, grumpy old man. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting in there with him. But Sakara's a tougher fight, though. I will say that Sakara is the tougher fight out of the two. But Chris Camozzi, I think Chris Camozzi is a walk in the park.
Okay, all right. Your first fight with Chris Camozzi definitely still interests you, even though he doesn't hold the belt anymore. And
Nah,
now
just
you're at
because
cruiserweight.
he's an easy stepping stone. He's an easy stepping stone
I
to the
got you.
title, right? After this fight, I should be in the top 5. I feel like, I'll be 3-0. I'm top 20 in the world right now at heavyweight, right? Heavyweight's stacked, dude. It's stacked, dude. You got like Ben Rothwell in there, you got
Yeah.
Perdomo, you got Parker Porter, you got Pat Brady, my teammate, and guess what? Pat wants to fight for the heavyweight belt, and guess what? I don't want to get in the way of that. So I would rather Pat go fight for the heavyweight belt, and I'd rather fight for the cruiserweight belt, and I'd rather bring both belts back to the Forge MMA in Parkwood, Philly. I almost said New Jersey.
Let's go. Well, okay. Well, let's talk about Zach Calmus for a second. Do you have you been watching any tape on him, and where do you think you
Every
have
day.
the biggest advantage over him?
Every day I watch tape on him. See, that's the thing about me, dude. Like, I don't have a job. This is my job. I quit my job. So I obsess about this stuff, dude. Like, I wake up, I think about Mr. Calmus. I eat lunch, I think about Mr. Calmus. I go to bed, I think about Mr. Calmus. I have sex, I think about Mr. Calmus. It just doesn't stop, dude. I obsess about this man until I get in there with him. I love the whole, like, when I meet them. You know what I mean? I love the whole. I don't want to give away a lot of my psychology that I do in fighting because I want Zach to fall for it, and he will fall for it because they all fall for it. The last 2 opponents fell for it. They all break and they come up to you and they start talking to you and they give away too much information. And fighting is a lot more than just physical, my friend. It's very psychological. It's a very psychological thing, and I'm very, very good at that. Mr. Calmus, stay away from me. Don't talk to me because you're going to say too much. I already know too much about you, Mr. Calmus. And when I say that, it's because I watch all your fights. And I'll be honest, dude, I don't think this is going to be a good fight for you. 3 years ago, like when he fought Bobo, I think it would have been a close fight, but he's just not on my level now. And that's another thing. I think the mistake, right, with me not letting me fight for this long. I grew a lot, dude, and I got really so I'm a wrestler, right? I grew up wrestling, right? And it's a problem when people are telling you you're starting to look you look like a boxer. You know what I mean? When people are telling you that in the gym, you know what I mean? When people are saying you look like you're a boxer now, dude. That's pretty crazy, bro. Like, and I've only been doing this for a year. I never even trained boxing or anything. And for people to say that to me now, we're gonna get Zach Calmus out of there in 2 rounds. 2 rounds. If he makes it to the third, I'll get him out of there in the third round. But 2 rounds, Mr. Calmus. And the only reason it's gonna go that long is because I want my TV time.
Yeah, for sure. Lex
Yeah,
needs his TV time. I understand.
yeah,
I understand.
yeah.
So are the Dawkins brothers going to be in your corner for this one?
Always, dude. They're my homies. They're my main men. I'm trying to see if they're here
How
now. They're
much
not
does
here
it
right now.
how much does it mean to you to have the Dawkins brothers in your corner?
So we go far back, dude. We go back to 2018. They didn't really like me in 2018. um, the perception of me for a lot of people is that I'm a loudmouth, arrogant dude, right? People now know it's a character, right? But back then they didn't know that was a character. They didn't realize that, I'm an actual human being and whatnot. So like they had this perception of me, but over the time they got to know me and they're probably my closest friends. And I think I would like to say that I'm probably their closest friends too. I would hope, you know what I mean. But I cornered Kyle at MSG. I'm gonna corner him for his next fight. Chris and I were always talking. He's one of my best friends, dude. I love Chris Dawkins to death, and Kyle is one of my best friends. And I like to look at it like Kyle is my main training partner. He's my coach too. He helps me a lot with he helps me tremendously a lot with my fighting. But he's still very active, you know what I mean, and he's still fighting a lot. So I call him my main training partner, and I call Chris Dawkins my head coach. Chris is still active too, but he's hurt right now, so he's not gonna be fighting. Hopefully he'll be fighting by the end of the year, but he's not gonna be fighting for the beginning of the year. So he's my head coach right now, as I like to say. But yeah, they helped me out a lot. And then my boxing coach is John Merck, who's also Pat Brady's boxing coach. And John's been helping me a lot with my boxing. John's a 9-0 professional boxer. Was a 9-0. Well, he retired, but
Huh.
9-0 professional boxer. And he's been helping me out a lot, dude, for these last two fights. John calls me all the time. We talk about the fight. We talk about the game plan. What I really like, dude, is I like that being drilled in my head, the game plan. I like it being drilled in my head because that way when I'm in there, I'm not going to go away from it. You know what I mean? Like it's going to be so imprinted in me that I'm going to stick to it no matter how good it goes, no matter how bad it goes. At the end of the day, right, as much trash as it is a bare knuckle fight, anything can happen. Like Zach Calmus can graze me by the littlest thing and the doctor comes in and waves it off. You know what I mean? So everything
Yeah,
that I'm going to do is it's got to be with like a high fight IQ with this. That's how I look at bare knuckle. It's got to be you got to be in there, and you got to have a really high fight IQ because I've been saying it in my last couple of interviews. The risk is just as big as the rewards. So just the littlest hit can cost you the whole fight, and just the one littlest hit can get you the whole fight. You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah, I got a couple more for you, brother. I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're getting ready for training there.
I got a half hour, dude. Keep
I
me as
really
long as you want.
Okay, I really appreciate you taking the time, man.
Dude, everybody
So
says that, dude.
what do you
Everybody says appreciate you taking the time, right? Listen, I know I'm this up and coming big fighter right now, but I'm a human being at the end of the day. So I appreciate you giving me the time as well, my friend. It's a two-way
of
street,
course.
dude. It's a two-way street. We're both human beings. We're both on the same level in life. Like you know what I mean? So like I look at everybody equal besides Zach Calmus. But after the fight, I will look at Zach Calmus. After the fight, I'll look at him as an equal. But right now, he's below me, and I'm going to treat him as such. But I appreciate you giving me this time to talk on your platform, my friend.
I appreciate that, brother. Let me ask you about the Fedor fight, man. What do you think intrigues you the most about Fedor there? Did you watch him growing up? Is it something
Yeah.
do you not like Fedor, or is it more of like, you know, he's one of the greats and you want to get in there with him? Knuckles to Knives is officially sponsored by Blues King 24/7. My brother Ivan Stojakovic has decided to support the movement. Ivan owns a company called Blues King 24/7 and they are located in Ontario, Canada. Blues King 24/7 does some of the cleanest cladding work in the world. They deal with siding, aluminum panels, and any exterior finish. They also waterproof buildings, homes, and take on any commercial or residential projects. They are located in Ontario, Canada, but will take on work anywhere in the world. So if you need your building or home upgraded on the exterior, call Blues King 24/7. That's BLUESKING 24/7. Go check them out on Instagram.
Okay, so this is a little bit of a deep dive with Fedor, right? I want you to go look up Fedor Emelianenko's record, okay? Fedor Emelianenko, right? He's known as the greatest heavyweight of all time, right? I say he's top 3. But he's known as the greatest heavyweight of all time, right? Why is the greatest heavyweight of all time fighting middleweights and light heavyweights? Why is he fighting at heavyweight? I understand that. Oh, they're fighting at heavyweight, but at the end of the day, Chael Sonnen is a true middleweight. He wasn't a heavyweight when he fought Fedor Emelianenko. Rampage Jackson is a true 205er. He's not a heavyweight. Matt Lindland? You're fighting Matt Lindland at heavyweight? Like, come on, dude. Matt Lindland is a phenomenal fighter. He's a phenomenal wrestler, but he's not a heavyweight fighter. And then he's fighting guys with like 0-0 records, 0-1 records, 1-0 records, 2-0 records. Wow, by the way, he's like 15-1, 20-1. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. So that's problem number 1. Problem number 2 is that he beat Uncle Chael. That's problem number 2. So if I got in there, 1, my biggest request would be for Uncle Chael to walk me out for that fight. And number 2, I would say in every interview I do, this one's for you, Uncle Chael, when I'm going to fight him, right? And number 3, you asked me if, yeah, I did grow up watching him fight. He lost to one of my favorite fighters of all time, Dan Henderson. What a great knockout that was by Dirty Dan. You know what I mean? Dan Henderson, the GOAT. Now, if Dan Henderson liked one of my comments recently that I wrote to him, I said the GOAT, and he liked it, right? Now, if I could get Dan Henderson to come aboard the most hated man in combat sports train, that would be like check mark. Like, I would retire. Check mark, retired. Never fighting again. We're done, right? Not really, but Dan Henderson is up there as one of my top 3 fighters of all time. It's like, I have a biased list because there's, in my opinion, there's the greatest fighters and there's the fighters that I like. Dan Henderson, probably the greatest fighter. He's probably top 15. Probably the number 1 fighter to never win the UFC world title, but he was a UFC tournament winner. But he was also the Strikeforce and the Pride champions, but knocked out Fedor Emelianenko. Right? Love that fight. I hated growing up the guys that everybody dick rided. I hated Anderson Silva. I hated Fedor. I love GSP because everybody said he was boring. GSP to me was the number 1 fighter. Number 2 is John Jones, just because of the failed drug tests. But number 1 was GSP. Number 2, John Jones. But I really feel like me versus Fedor in bare knuckle would be quite interesting. If he hits me, I'd probably die. But I think if I hit him, he would fold. I don't think that chin's there anymore. But then I got to go back up to heavyweight. But I would do it, obviously. I would do it in a heartbeat. But I would need 6 months because I would want to lift. I would want to lift a lot because if you've seen him lately, he's clearly on the TRT right now, and he is looking really jacked. So I would definitely hey, those just my opinion, not saying it's factual that he's on the TRT. He just looks really in shape right now. But yes, I would fight Fedor in a heartbeat, and I think I would cream him. Put a little cream in the coffee.
Do you plan?
Drink it down.
Do you plan on competing in the $25 million big man tournament?
No, that doesn't interest me at all.
Oh, no.
It doesn't interest me at all. No.
Wow. Okay.
It doesn't.
Moving on. If Zach Calmus is watching this right now, what's your message to him?
Well, I DM him all the time. I DM Zach Calmus all the time. I never get an answer. So my message to him is quite simple. It's just like what I've been saying. I blessed you with this fight. I'm gonna send you to Ice Wars after this fight, and then we're gonna send you to the street. Zach Calmus after this fight will never be the same fighter ever again. And then 2, he will never want to fight in BKFC ever again. He's gonna want to go to Ice Wars where he belongs. Yeah, dude.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
Maybe he
you heard it
responds
here
to this
first.
one. Let's see.
You heard it here first. We're sending Zach Calmus to Ice Wars, dude. BKFC Ice Wars, dude. He's gonna be fighting in hockey rinks. That's what he's gonna be doing on ice skates. It's so dumb. Not
Oh my
BKFC Ice Wars, but him fighting there. That's hilarious. That's gonna be so fun. Against my boy.
Let's go.
He should fight my boy Anthony Dozier. You know Anthony Dozier?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I saw in an interview. So right before the fight got announced, right? I saw in an interview. I knew the fight was gonna happen between me and him, and I saw in an interview that guy. I think it's BKFC Reddit. I think it is. I
Yeah.
think he followed me at one point, bro, and then I think he got mad at me because I think I had an interview scheduled with him, like one like this, and I believe that I forgot about it, and it wasn't like on purpose, but like I think I like missed the time or something like that. And now he doesn't follow me. And then I reached back out to him. I apologized to him and he never answered me. So I just figured, I think he just hates me. So, but that's okay though, because I am the most hated man in combat sports. So that's okay if he hates me.
It's fitting.
But
It's fitting. Hey, man.
but he did a video, bro. And he said right before my fight got announced, he said, I would really like to see Anthony Dozier versus Zach Calmus, goalie versus goalie in an ice rink fight. So I'm just trying to bless the fans with what they want. I'm gonna send Zach Calmus to Ice Wars, and then Zach Calmus can go fight Anthony Dozier, and Dozier can knock him out, and then Dozier can come on over to BKFC. You know what I mean? Where he belongs. I love Dozier. Dozier's the man, dude. But we're gonna knock out Zach Calmus, and we're gonna give him to Anthony Dozier in Ice Wars. That's what we're gonna do.
Let's go. I love it. I gotta say, man, I really appreciate you, brother. I really do love you, man. Like, I love listening to you talking your shit. I love watching you fight. So I'm super excited for your return, February 7th. Just want to know, do you want to leave us with a message for the fans and any sponsors you want to shout out?
Life Med, Ferrari's Landscaping, Pizza City, Alex's Pizza, The Rook. I'm gonna forget because I got a bunch, dude. It's hard for me to remember. I always forget this part to do this part in the interview. But my message to everybody, and especially to my kids, never give up on your dreams, no matter how stupid it is. Because all my life, dude, my entire life, I'm gonna be in the WWE. I'm gonna be in the WWE. I'm gonna be in the UFC. I would tell people all the time, dude, to the point where they would get annoyed and sick of it, right? And people would tell you, oh yeah, good luck with that. Oh yeah, that ain't gonna happen. Oh, you better just go to college. Oh, you'll be working at McDonald's. Never worked at McDonald's a day in my life. They're gonna say, and they're gonna laugh at you. But as long as you believe it, and as long as you're not delusional, right? That's a big thing, bro. Like a lot of people, they're very delusional and they don't see where they're at in life, right? Like there's a lot of like bad fighters out there that think they're good fighters and it just doesn't work out. Like you gotta be disciplined. There's a lot that goes into fighting, bro. Like a lot more than what people think there is. You just gotta believe in yourself. You gotta be realistic, and anything is possible if you're realistic and you really believe in yourself. I really believe that you can manifest anything. I manifested that I was gonna fight Zach Calmus. I said it in the Mission Mike show. I said that back in I don't remember when. September. It was right before that BKFC Newark card. And now look, I'm fighting Zach Calmus at KnuckleMania. And we're going to beat Zach Calmus and we're going to send him back to Ice Wars and we're all going to laugh about it. Are you going to KnuckleMania? Are you going to be there?
I will be there, yes. I will be there.
We'll all be standing there. We'll all have drinks and we'll just be like, ha, it was so funny. I just knocked out Zach Calmus. He's fighting in Ice Wars in 3 months. Ha! We'll all just be laughing. Ha! That was funny. Remember that? Ha! That's what we'll all be doing, dude. We'll all be laughing with drinks in our hand. And then my whole plan is, right? My whole plan is to beat him, do that, and then go out to eat and have lobster and steak dripping from butter dripping from my mouth, laughing about it again. You know what I mean? Eating prime rib. You know what I mean? A man's meal. That's what I call that. A man's meal. That's what that is.
Can't wait to meet you in person at KnuckleMania. Make sure the fans tune in. Cannot wait for this fight. The return of the most hated man in combat sports, LEX LUDLOW, taking on Zach Calmus, February 7th. The biggest event of the promotion, KnuckleMania 6. I cannot wait for this fight. Cannot wait to see you in person, brother. And thank you so much again for taking the time. Knuckles to knives. Much respect,
Knuckles
brother.
To knives. Knuckles to knives.
Knuckles to knives.
Remember when Cody Vidal did that when we did his thing?
Yeah.
Knuckles to knives.
Yes.
Dude, that always sticks in my head. I don't know why.
Knuckles and knives, and we out, baby.